Hello everyone and welcome back to Full House Sports here with myself, Charlie. As everyone who follows the channel knows, I am a Forest fan, and the news that Ange Postecoglou has been sacked today, I thought I'd let it marinate a little. I thought I'd let the news sort of just develop rather than going on, rather than giving a knee-jerk reaction. I thought I'd just sort of let the dust settle, take stock of everything and then give my opinion on it. And I feel like I'm ready now to speak my truths about it. First things first, I feel for Ange Postecoglou. And listen, I'm guilty of saying that I wasn't a fan of the appointment. I know that. I'm fully aware of that. So I sound like a massive hypocrite. But I thought, and the more I look at it, I think he's been stitched up by Evangelos Marinakis. That's the truth of it. I think, considering Marinakis is supposed to be his friend, the fact that he was brought in an international break with 3 days to go until playing Arsenal away, and then it was back-to-back games. There was no way he was ever going to be able to implement his style of football. He was stitched up. It was such a big shift in style from Nuno's to Ange's that it was never going to end well. And that's the brutal and honest truth of it. There's no hiding that, yes, it was poor at times. Yes, our defenders, certainly off set pieces, massively took a backward step. But I still feel sorry for the guy. I just feel for him. And at the end, see him clapping the fans who remained, it felt sad. Because people forget, I think, in football that these people are human beings. Coach, managers, players, they're human beings. They're just like us. They have feelings, they have emotions. And he's clearly a man who has his own conviction, who believes in himself. And to have that taken away, it must be gutting for anyone, especially of that sort of mindset. And also, I think what's really important to talk about is the fact that I do think he's been massively hounded out by the media. I know it's easy to blame as Forest fans. We were singing sacked in the morning, but also the media have a role in this where they didn't like him from the start. They potentially didn't like him because he's upfront and he's honest and he doesn't always play ball with their journalists. He can be quite prickly, not under no illusions about that. But I do think because of them circumstances, the media, since he came in at Forest, have had it in for him. And unfortunately, everything he's done has been under a magnifying glass, and it's ended up going the way it's gone. What is going on though at Forest? What is going on? I'm genuinely sad. Like I am. And that's the truth of it. I'm genuinely gutted. We started off this season, I started the season looking forward to us being back in Europe, which as a younger Forest fan, I could not even dream of. I went to Wembley last season with Forest. We were this close to getting to an FA Cup final. I watched us beat Man United. I watched us draw with Liverpool. You know, I watched us beat Brighton 7-0. I watched us score against Aston Villa in the last 6 minutes twice to win 2-1, coming back from 1-0 down. I went to Wolves away on a Monday night where we looked to cut above Wolves. It was just, there's so many good memories I got from last season. And that's all gone. That's all in the past. And it feels like an age ago, but it wasn't. It was just last season. Even the opening game of the season against Brentford, it was like, right, we're going to kick on. Oh, we're going to be up there again. No way, we weren't a flash in the pan. Even the draw at Palace, that aged well, considering what the run that Palace were on and have been on. And then now you're left with this. You're left managerless. I do think as well, and I've said this to a few Forest fans, I understand he's our owner and he's done a lot for us, but people don't seem to want to criticise Evangelos Marinakis. This is his fault. He stitched his mate up because he gave him a job that he's never going to do well with. He fell out with Nuno and backed Edu, who, like I've said in a video the other week, Edu's signings have been horrendous. They have not been good enough for Forest. We've done exactly what everyone didn't want us to do, which is we've gone to big clubs and gone, which players aren't good enough for you? We'll take them. That's not improved us. And he's backed Edu, who's been there, less than 5 minutes over Nuno? And now within this messy situation, I mean, again, the obvious appointment, I said it the other day on the channel, was Sean Dyche. The obvious appointment. Apparently we go for Mancini. Where has that come from? You know, yes, I like Roberto Mancini. His achievements speak for themselves, but he was last in a job at Saudi Arabia. And why would he come to Forest? What's he being promised? Apparently the rumour is that Dyche won't take the job because he's not being given assurances past the end of the season. I get that from Sean Dyche. But what are we doing? What is Marinakis doing? And I'm sorry as well, it was classless, the sacking of Postecoglou. Sack him 10, 20 minutes after the game? Classless. That's not what Forest are about. Everyone last year, oh, I'm glad to see Forest doing well. They're a proper club. That's not a proper club. That's not what proper clubs do. You might be alright doing that in Olympiacos, where the ultras will worship you. That's fine. That's not what Forest do. Out of my head, we're a club who do things properly. And although at times it's been funny in the Marinakis, and I've played into it, I'll admit that as a Forest fan. You know, the Gibbs White thing, oh, we're going to take Tottenham to court. Oh, we're going to get the Europa League instead of Palace. And yeah, I've played into that. But actually, one, we're getting what we deserve, because Palace are probably going to do well in the Conference League. We're getting our backsides handed to us in the Europa League. And, oh yeah, Gibbs White hasn't scored a goal in 16 shots, because clearly he doesn't want to be at the club. So we've been the creators of our own downfall massively. And I'm worried for us. I said the other week, I'm so worried for us. The fans feel, like myself and the others do, feel hopeless, feel all at sea. We're not united anymore. There's something back Nuno. I still miss Nuno. We're just all over the shop. I'm there on Thursday night against Porto. What's it going to be like? Are we going to have a new manager? Is it going to be a caretaker? It's a massive game. We can't afford to not win that, or we're really in trouble in the Europa League. I don't know. Like I say, I think Ange's position had become untenable, but I do feel sorry for the guy. I really do. And actually, I thought his press conference yesterday was all right. He spoke some truths. Yeah, you know, he basically said, I'll win a trophy. It always ends in a trophy. Whether it would have at Forest, I don't know. But I don't sound I'm not falling out of love with the club. I've never fallen out of love with Forest, but falling out of love with the way things are being run at the minute. And actually, as fans, I feel like we need to be a bit more vocal about it. Not just to the man in the dugout, but also to the man who sits above the dugout, who smashes up TV screens, who apparently met Postecoglou down the tunnel to fire him. Again, it's classless. Ridiculous. Anyways, guys, thank you very much as always for watching. Yeah, real negative one. Me having a moan. Please always like, comment, subscribe. And thank you very much. Have a great day.